Okay, now let us see factors governing ionization enthalpy. The various factors are nuclear charge, atomic size, penetration effect, screening effect, and effect of half-filled and fully filled. Now with respect to nuclear charge, you see the example here. The nuclear charge is increasing from +3 to +10. And look at the ionization enthalpy. It was 520 initially and it is slowly increasing to 2080. So ionization energy increases with increase in effective nuclear charge. Right? Okay. Now what about atomic size? Atomic size, how does it vary across the period? It decreases across the period. Now as the size decreases, the electrons will be held more tightly with the nucleus, so ionization energy will increase. Now in general, ionization energy decreases as the atomic size increases. That is why you say ionization energy increases across a period and decreases down the group. As the size increases, the hold of the nucleus for the outer electrons decreases, hence ionization energy decreases down the group, whereas across the period it will increase. Now what is penetration effect? Now in any orbit, the s electrons are the closest to the nucleus, then comes p, then comes d, then comes f. Okay, so the closest is the s orbital. So what you call that as penetration effect, that is s electrons are more strongly held by the nucleus, or s electrons are more penetrated into the nucleus, more attracted towards the nucleus, because it is the closest to the nucleus. So based on this you have now this boron and beryllium. Beryllium, the atomic number is 4 and that of boron it is 5. So when you consider the effective nuclear charge on beryllium is 4 and that on boron is 5. So what do you expect? As and when the nuclear charge increases, the ionization energy should also increase. But now they have found that the ionization energy of boron is less than that of beryllium. Why? You look at the configuration of boron, it is 1s2, 2s2, 2p1, and that of Be it is 1s2, 2s2. Now you find 2s fully filled and no more electron is there, whereas this is 2s2, 2p1. 2p can hold a maximum of 6 electrons, out of which just 1 is there, and p is not that close to the nucleus as compared with that of s. Okay, so it is very difficult to remove an electron from the fully filled 2s orbital, which is very close to the nucleus, than from an electron which is present in p orbital. So this p orbital electron can be easily removed, whereas this electron from 2s cannot be removed so easily. That's why ionization energy of boron is less and that of beryllium is more. Okay, so this is in spite of higher nuclear charge on boron, the ionization energy of boron is less than that of beryllium. Now come to another example. First, ionization energy of aluminium and magnesium. Aluminium is having 3s2, 3p1, magnesium is having 3s2. Now effective nuclear charge, when you consider aluminium atomic number is 13 and that of magnesium is 12. So obviously nuclear charge on aluminium is more, but ionization enthalpy of aluminium is less. Again the same reason, the p electron is less penetrated towards the nucleus, so it is comparatively easier to remove than the electron of s orbital, that too which is completely filled, right? So this takes more energy. So for penetration effect we have seen 2 examples. Now come to the next one, that is screening effect. Now what is meant by screening effect? Now let us just read the lines first. As the screening effect increases, the ionization energy decreases. As the screening effect increases, the ionization energy decreases. The electrons in the valence shell experience an attractive force from the nucleus and a repulsive force from the electrons in the inner shells. Okay? Electrons present in the outer shell will experience repulsion from the inner electrons, and it will experience attractive force from the nucleus. Now these two are two opposing forces. The valence electrons do not experience the full nuclear charge. That is, the electrons present in the outermost shell is unable to experience the nuclear charge because of the inner electrons. So the actual charge felt by the valence shell electrons is what is called effective nuclear charge, and the repulsive force is called as screening effect. The repulsive force experienced by the electrons is called as screening effect. Now, down the groove, ionization enthalpy decreases. Now look in the case of gallium and that of aluminium. You will find that gallium is having an atomic number 31 and aluminium is having atomic number 13. 13 is having a configuration like this, and gallium, which is 31, is having a configuration like this. Now what we have studied, out of S, P, D and F electrons, S and P electrons show strong screening effect. Strong screening effect means they will hide the electrons present in S and P orbitals, they will hide the electrons much more sharply than what D and F do. S and P electrons screen the outer electrons more strongly, more sharply from the nucleus. मतलब आपके पास ये न्यूक्लियस है, ये वैलेंस शेल है और बीच में इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है, इनर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. ठीक है, तो इनर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स क्या करेगा, आउटर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स को न्यूक्लियर अट्रैक्शन से उसको स्क्रीन करेगा, उसको हाइड करेगा. ठीक है, अगर मान लो इनर इलेक्ट्रॉन्स में D और F होता है, D और F इलेक्ट्रॉन्स बहुत उसमें electron cloud will not be that sharp. With the result, what will happen? It will hide the valence electrons less effectively. Okay, it is something like if I am having a wooden screen, you compare that wooden screen as S and P electrons. So you are staying outside and this is the nucleus, this is a wooden screen. So this wooden screen will hide the outer electron from experiencing the nuclear attraction. But if the inner electrons are D and F, then D and F, they are more cloudy, right? The electron cloud is spread, it is not sharp. So because of which what will happen, the outer electron is able to experience the nuclear attraction. Okay, so they will hide the electrons less effectively, or they show poor screening effect. They do not screen the outer electrons from the nucleus, right? So due to the diffused nature of this 3D, the outer p electron is getting enough of nuclear attraction. With the result, gallium is having higher ionization energy than that of aluminium, in spite of valence shell being far away from the nucleus. Okay, the same condition can also be explained in terms of thallium and indium. The same condition here, due to poor shielding of 4f electrons, the ionization energy is high. And the last one is half filled and fully filled orbitals. Now in the case of nitrogen you have 2p3, which is 1 electron in each p, that is half filled, whereas in the case of oxygen, out of the 3 p orbitals, 1 orbital is fully filled and then the rest 2 are 2, 1 each. So in spite of higher nuclear charge on oxygen, nitrogen is having higher ionization enthalpy because of the stable, more symmetrical, half-filled electronic configuration. So nitrogen, the ionization energy of nitrogen is greater than that of oxygen. Same way you can see in the case of beryllium and boron. Beryllium is having 2s2 and boron is having 2p. Now this is having fully filled state. So the ionization energy of beryllium is much more than that of boron. Right?